Now here you can see three type of cloud. This is a cloud architecture. Architecture of the cloud is this. Now here you can see platform as a services, service value nets, infrastructure as a services. Now see here we are providing you infrastructure as a services, and now Microsoft Azure is providing all three type of services: software as a services, platform as a services, and infrastructure as a services. No other vendors can offer you. How? Now this see infrastructure as a services. Here what you will be getting: a virtual server, a virtual network, and virtual storage. So virtual storage you can get a virtual network, you can get virtual computers. So compute, storage, and network, all are you are getting from infrastructure, right? So this is called as also infrastructure server. Now in this infrastructure server, definitely DHCP, DNS server, Win server, proxy server, routers, switches, all those things are coming. So which instead of purchasing as a hardware, you are purchasing as a software, as a subscription based. Whenever you want in your office two number of servers, you can purchase two number of servers. And in this basically, so you will be getting an infrastructure actually. Now platform as a services, here what exactly the difference is. In a platform as a services, you don't have to purchase these services actually. This is called infrastructure. You just put your application into Microsoft Azure platform, right? Now this Microsoft Azure platform is having a services called web app services. Web app services is the latest services offered from Microsoft as a platform as a services, right? As a PaaS they have added this. Now instead of previously website was there, now they have added Microsoft web application. Now in the web application what happens, you will be getting a web role, web worker role machine server, that is IIS server with web role, web role, and with a machine without web role. So you will be getting these two machines. On these two machines you can put your site, or you can put your web based application, and these applications are, you can access it from using RDP or PowerShell or HTTP, various protocols, by downloading the client in your any machine is the main say that mobile or tablet PC or laptop or zero client or a desktop, Mac, Linux, or anything. So you can get the application from here and you can run it on any device, anytime, anywhere. This is the advantage you will be getting here in platform as a services. What you will be getting also is, along with the in this you will be getting Visual Studio 2013, you will be getting .NET, you will be getting Python, you will be getting Ruby, you will be getting many more applications, Java, C++, and all those applications you are getting. Your development tools you are getting. You are getting not only you are getting a tools, and you are getting two virtual machines. So these on these virtual machine you can install your application and you can manage. Now these machines are basically automatically managing the resources. If your application requires, if your web application requires more and more power, right, when more people are getting connected to this and more processing power is required, it automatically takes this machine from infrastructure as a services, or from there from background, from the Microsoft cloud, it will automatically take the virtual machine or computing or any other things, virtual machine, computing, or storage from the cloud, and it will give you 99.95% availability of your application. And here you don't have to maintain your infrastructure, unlike in IaaS where you are doing everything, right? So here you don't have to do anything. Now what is the exactly advantage of infrastructure as a services? Here you will be getting capex and opex cost is saving, right? And that's the one thing. And you can use your existing workload on these, you can put with some modification or some basic testing, it will be done with the various utility. We can use this as a basically, so in case suppose you wanted to move your workload from on-premise to cloud, then this will be the platform. Infrastructure is a platform where you can move this. If you have a web-based application on your premise, you can directly put them into platform as a services, PASS, or you can call it as a web application services, or you can put it into cloud services. So cloud services and web application services, in which you can directly put your on-premise application with minimum configuration and it will start working. So this is the way you can move your existing application into Microsoft Cloud. Whereas if you have an application which is can be moved to infrastructure, on this infrastructure, which is not a web-based application or which requires more configuration to be done, then you can put directly into infrastructure as a services. Then beside this, so you can now understand that this is a cloud architecture of Microsoft. This is a cloud architecture. How it is exactly consists of platform as a services, IaaS, infrastructure as a services, and software as a services. Now these three parts are there in this single application, which is the why Microsoft Azure is better than any other competitor. No other competitor has all these two services. Buy them. You can take it Azure, you take it Rackspace or any other competition. So there is nobody can compare. So that's why this cloud architecture you can see. What is cloud computing? I was just telling you. See, it is a network of computer. It is a server. It is a storage database. It is an application, right? Applications. In a cloud computing, what you find? Application, network of computers, server, storage database, right? Application, this is the application is nothing but your system, what you call it as a system, right? It's a main application on which you're doing a business. So for example, bank has got banking application, infrastructure companies are having ERP type of applications. So these are ERP applications are nothing but application which you are putting on this cloud. And where you are putting in this cloud, this is you are putting on these servers, these computer network and these storage database. So everything you will find in cloud available from as a services to you. You can store the database, you can purchase a storage database. If you want server, you can purchase servers. If you want application, you can get the application, ready-made application from marketplace of Microsoft Azure. You will be getting all those applications which can be used for enterprises. See, in the cloud computing, what advantage you will be having exactly compared to the on-premise? In on-premise, the cost of once you purchase one type of antivirus, right? The upgradation to antivirus, upgradation to application, upgradation to this operating system are very costly. You have to do a lot of things, and when you are doing this upgradation, you have to shut down your whole network actually, right? Or if you are in case if you are upgrading your application server, you have to have a provision of second application server in your premise. You make a duplicate or you can say parallel application server. You have to migrate the data from here into this. Once this server will be ready, then only you can work on your existing application. You can upgrade and all the things. Online application you cannot do it on that because it will disturb the availability of your application in this. So what we are doing then, we are exactly then in this case in Microsoft, we will be getting high availability. It's basically, you can say, use this cloud computing as a DR. Also you can use it as a disaster recovery. Why? Because on-premise, suppose if you wanted to do all these things, you wanted to do the maintenance of your application server, you have to purchase another server, then migrate, install the OS on that, install application on that, move the database from existing this thing to this, then pointer you have to move of all the clients to this new server. Once all this thing is done, then you can start working on your old server you can maintain that server, right? That is too costly and this is too time consuming, and a lot of capex and apex will be happen. Here what you can do, you can just map your physical network you have to map this thing to your virtual network. I mean, in a cloud you can create the same. I mean, in a cloud you can create within a seconds. You can create the server, you can create the storage, you can create this, and you can get connected with the site to site networking or express route. From this you can connect. So what will be happen here? The once you are created and connected this on premise and cloud, in a cloud with your own cloud which you have purchased, people can access the data from cloud instead of I mean, they are not depending on your on-premise this thing server. In this case, you can work on your server, you can maintain your server, and data is still available to the client, and client will be, your application will be available to your users, and people will be working without any problem. If your any hardware failure is occurred in your on-premise, then also this DR can be helpful for you. So the data will be this is a data, I mean, data site recovery, what also call it as a site recovery. So what is cloud computing? I'm just referring to the all these things.